Welcome to I Read This Book with Chris. With me. I'm Chris. And these are a bunch of books I have yet to read. This is yet another book haul. A book haul where I show you a bunch of books. That's what a book haul is. Well, I show you the books that I've recently acquired from a couple different places. Let me tell you about my drink. It is an Amaro Sour, which is pretty good. I normally like the sour family of cocktails. Speaking of which, I'm going to start off with, there is a little collection of cookbooks I've picked up. Peaky Blinders cocktail book, and then How to Cocktail by American Test Kitchen. So I think all these cookbooks I recently got at a library sale. I don't think I paid full price. I think these are all from the bag day. I like to cook. I have drinks here often while showing you the books I get. So I enjoy good cocktails. It's a fun looking book. I've never watched Peaky Blinders, so I don't know if it's going to be any good. This one is America's Test Kitchen, Recipes and Techniques for the Building of Best Drinks. I generally like their stuff, and I don't always do exactly what they say 100%. I have another cookbook by them, or maybe it's a couple, that I go to occasionally. And they go and they try out, they look at a bunch of different recipes for the same thing. And they figure out, why do people use certain ones versus others? Like, how long do you need to cook something for? Do you cook it at 325, 350, 375? Do you need to brown it before, brown it after? All these different variations, and they test them all out, and they see which they enjoy. So, it'll be interesting to see their cocktails. They have a whole section about how to get the perfect cocktail ice, which currently I just use normal. I just filter water and then just make ice cubes out of that. Not the prettiest ice, but it does what it needs to do. Another book by America's Test Kitchen is The Slow Cook Revolution. A bunch of slow cooker recipes. Nothing a whole lot. 200 recipes for slow cookers. I don't have a slow cooker book, but America's Test Kitchen always does good. So, I mean, it was very cheap, so I'll pick that up. The Veganomicon, the Ultimate Vegan Cookbook. I have, my in-laws are vegan, and so I'm always looking for some vegan recipes that are good. And pick this up. Don't know anything about it. We'll see. And the last one is Back in the Day Bakery Cookbook. More than 100 recipes from the best little bakery in the South. Yeah, don't know much about this. Saw it. Looked fun, so I picked it up. There you go. Those are my cookbooks. I have, let's see, this is all the science fiction I've recently picked up. Here's Upgrade by Blake Crouch. I believe I have all of the other Blake Crouch books. Rev Recursion, Dark Matter, the Wayward Pines trilogy. Maybe I'm missing one or two. I do not know. But my wife picked this up for me. I actually bought it at an actual bookstore, a new bookstore, which I never do. And this one, that's weird. Is this British printing? Yeah. Printed and bound, UK Ltd. Croydon. It's for the British Library. I guess this is the British printing of it. But that's nice. Let's see. Here's a book I have never heard of, but this was, so there's a used bookstore that we like that's a couple hours away. Whenever we're there, we pick stuff up. And the rest of these are all books, the rest of these sci-fi books I picked up all there. New Watch by Serge Lukyanenko. Newest book in the internationally best-selling Night Watch series. I don't know much of anything about that. I actually didn't know that it was part of a series until I showed my wife, and she says, it's part of a series, but I mean, for the whole, everything that we got at this bookstore, we bring them books. Some you get trade credit for, some you get store credit for. Most books you get trade credit and you can get up to 50% off. And then the store credit you can use to cover the rest of it. So we spent $3. I got 5 books. My wife got 3. So $3 for 8 books is pretty good. So maybe I'll start this one, read a little bit, see if it's worth picking up the first book in the series. But I'm trying to do a little bit more modern sci-fi, and this looked... She put it in the sci-fi section. I don't know whether or not it actually is any science fiction. Born in Kazakhstan and educated as a psychiatrist, began publishing science fiction in the 1980s, published more than 25 books, and the translator is founding editor of a Russian literature journal. Now, New Watch by Serge Lukyanenko. Alrighty. This one I put in the stack. This is actually one that my wife was going to get rid of off her shelf, and then I saw it and I'm like, you can't get rid of that. Outworld Cats. I read the first page or two just to make sure it was worth it, and basically some aliens have taken cats, bred them up to be super intelligent and to work on spaceships and to be super loyal to their overlords. But then, however, these two cats get stuck on a space station because they are busy doing a task dealing with wires and stuff, and all of a sudden an emergency alert goes off. Everyone else escapes in the escape pod. So that happens in like the first 4 pages, and I thought that was great. Cats stranded on a super intelligent telepathic cat stuck on a space station. So no idea where that goes. Let's see. These other ones I got at the bookstore. Jack Finney, From Time to Time, sequel to Time and Again. It's From Time to Time. So this one, I love time travel. I picked it up. Didn't realize, well, Time and Again, I have read a book called Time and Again. And then I have many books that are very similar in titles to that. So I don't know whether or not I have the first book in this series. But it's a good looking, good condition, time travel, science fiction hardcover. Time travel is really easy for me to always pick up. E. Doc Smith, Subspace Explorers. One part of his last great space adventure. Author of the Skylark and Lensman series. 5 space travelers trapped in a wrecked liner. A debutante, a female oil wildcatter, a famous mathematician, and 2 hard biscuit spacemen are attacked by a deadly energy field and make a discovery that saves the universe. I've never heard the term hard biscuit. 2 hard biscuit spacemen. And that was one of the major reasons I picked this one up, is because of the use of in the back of the book, the word hard biscuit. But Subspace Explorers, yeah, it looks like a fun general sci-fi. And then Ambulance Ship by James White. I like science fiction where they take more, ordinary jobs and put it in sci-fi. One of my favorite books I read is about a dentist who gets kidnapped by aliens and forced into space dentistry. So Ambulance Ship, the medics were in worse danger than the victims they were trying so hard to save. No idea if it's going to be good or not, but, it's got like the white and the red cross on the spaceship. Apparently they're still using that symbology in the distant future. Fun little sci-fi. This was actually the other book that I got at that bookstore. Big Money by P.G. Wodehouse. I already have this one, but can never have too many. Wodehouse. I don't have this printing of it. Plus, it's good to have duplicates so I can give them away to people who need more Wodehouse in their life. But it's Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. This is a classic. Let's see. First published in 1727. This is a 1945 printing. That's some fun art. Only thing I really know about it is that right there, described there. He goes into a village where there's a bunch of tiny people. I believe Jack Black did some sort of version of Gulliver Travels into a movie, which I saw a long time ago. But That's a very nice copy. I should read that. Here's those weird collection of books that some of these may never get read. But, you know, that happens sometimes. All of these are ones that I picked up at the local library bag day sale. So for the bag day sale, it's filling up a big bag of books for $5. So I mean, they're 5-gallon bags. So we normally fit 50 or 60 books in there. So 10 cents a piece, a quarter a piece maybe for some of these bigger ones. David Mamet, 3 Uses of the Knife. He's done a lot of plays. I don't know much about him. Apparently, it's in the kind of play that I enjoy reading. Maybe I'll read it. Maybe I won't. Maybe it's awful. Maybe it'll be my new favorite. Let's see. The Experiencing of Nothingness by Michael Novak. I've definitely heard his name before. The art is weird. What is it? 60s, 70s art? Yeah, this one was published in 1971. Weird philosophy, dude. Don't know much about it, but I should read more philosophy. Book about mimesis. Mimesis, the notion that art imitates reality, has long been recognized as one of the central ideas of Western aesthetics and has been most frequently associated with Aristotle. I saw it, I wanted it, I grabbed it. Let's see. Short Stories by Jesus, the Enigmatic Parables of a Controversial Rabbi. So this is a book about Jesus' parables. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if the theology of this person, whether or not I will agree with it or not. But I think the parables of Jesus are some of the best. I don't know. This may be controversial, but they're part of some of my favorite parts of the Bible, because you come to the same parable throughout your life. I mean, I'm still young, so I'm sure it'll continue to happen. But as you read through them, these stories, I mean, it happens with everything, but with the parables especially, you get so much out of it. And in such short stories, the parables, some of them are just 2 sentences or 3 sentences. Some of them are longer, of course. I don't know, the amount that you can get out of such a short stories. You couldn't pack that much information into other words. You have to do it in story form. So, we'll see about that. These last 2 I also got at that library sale. I saw this one on the regular full price day, and I wanted to pick it up, and then I thought it definitely is not worth the $3. But it was there, and I saw it like right when I walked in on bag day, so I grabbed it and threw it in my bag right away. The Stuffed Owl, an anthology of bad verse. There we go. By D.B. Wyndham Lewis and Charles Lee. An anthology of bad verse. First published in February 1930, further enlarged in 1948. I don't know. Just the title alone made me buy it. But, I mean, it's in beautiful shape. And book people, we buy too many books even if we never read them, just because they're pretty. And here's one that I surprised myself in picking up. Fossils. It's a big, oversized book about fossils. The Evolution and Extinction of Species. Introduction by Stephen Jay Gould. It's by Niall Eldridge. Let's see. 1991. Let's see. Sections on adaptation, origin of species, human evolution, living fossils, extinction, and macroevolution. I want to read it. This is something I wish I knew a little bit more about, especially considering I read a lot of time travel, and a lot of time travel deals with dinosaurs. These aren't all dinosaurs. I like fossils. Let's see. I actually have a couple of fossils. Woo. All right, so these are Orthoceras fossils. So I have this one, Orthoceras, which just has one big one, and you see the little bits of other ones. And then I got this guy, who is, you see a couple of them right there, and then as it's polished, you see a couple more down there. And you see little bits of them poking in and out. I like fossils. I think they are pretty cool. These ones are cheap, which is why I have them. I really like the imagery on it, though. Or the images of it. I kind of want to write a story, or someone else write a story about like a mile-long spaceship. Or, you know, you go and you see that. There we go. Let's focus. There we go. You see all those little segments? So each one of them is just like a little, you know, world, or, you know, couple of stories or whatever of a spaceship, and it just goes on and on and on and on forever, you know, like miles long. These are just interstellars traveling through space. It's obviously a strange thing for me to like, but I like fossils. That's why I pulled these out. So, having a book about fossils that I should read, even though I probably won't. Maybe I can learn some more about it. Although this is it's called Fossils, but it's about evolution. As using fossils to sort of show that, I guess. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed this book haul. Woo. I'm not going to put that up there. It's a little too heavy. You can knock my table over. Yeah, if there's any of these books you think I should read next, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching.